As we saw in the previous video, Kairos is an immutable OS, so we cannot install new packages on a running system. Instead, adding packages is achieved by building a container image and upgrading the node with it. On this video, I will show you how to build your own Kairos image and upgrade a single node manually. Objectives: we're going to install the Ruby program and language on our Kairos node. As we saw in the previous video, that was not possible just doing the traditional apt-get install. Prerequisites: well, I would suggest watching or having finished the getting started video so that you can have your single node cluster set up. It's not required, but ideally you should have watched the configuration video too. That way you understand why we're doing this. And finally, that you have Docker installed on your machine. Concept that we're going to be talking about is container images. So make sure to check out this page on the Kairos documentation. It's under the architecture section. As you can see here, architecture container, and it explains how containers are a main role in the life cycle of creating a Kairos image. So let me get back to here. Okay, so what are the steps of what we're going to do? First of all, we are going to need to create a Docker file wherever you want. In my case, I am in this directory related to this video, and I just need this Docker file. Now, the Docker file will be based on a Kairos existing image. If you saw the previous video, we installed Kairos v3.1.1, but v3.1.2 is already out. So that means that we're also going to get some packages upgraded. So let's base our image on this one. And the only command that I'm going to be running is the update of apt-get that we saw that is possible to run manually on a system. But it will also do the installation of Ruby, which was not possible to do on a running system. Since the container is not mounted read-only on a system, it is possible to do this installation here. So as you can see, it's as simple as this. There is nothing else that I'm going to need to do here. So I close the file. Then I am going to need to build the image, and I'm going to add a tag to this. I don't know if you know, ttl.sh is basically a registry for temporary images. So I will create my own image. It's going to be called Mauros or Mauros -v100. You can call this image whatever you want. I just gave you an idea so that you know that in the future you're going to be maybe adding, I don't know, patches to a certain image, or even if you do some major changes, then introducing minor or major versions. And finally, well, ttl.sh, you can set a certain time that the image is going to be living on their system. In my case, I put 24 hours, but it could be even less. And of course, I need to set the directory where Docker is going to find the Docker file that we just created, so which is in the current directory. So let's build it. You can see here it is downloading the Kairos image that we selected, and it is done. So I could easily also just spin up this image here. Let's do Docker run. And so our aim is to remove the image after I get out, and -t is to get a TTY console, and I is to be interactive. So now it has started, and you can see that I have Ruby installed on my system. This is exactly what we want, but now we also want to put this into our node. We want to upgrade our node to this image. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we need to push the image to a registry. So let's do that. Docker push, this is our image. Okay, it finished pushing, so let's SSH into the node. So now we are going to perform the installation. For that, we're going to copy this command here, where basically as root we want, or with administrative permissions, we want the Kairos agent to perform an upgrade. We tell it where the source is. The source can be different sources. We can have different types of sources. For example, a file, a directory, sorry. But in this case, we're going to use an OCI image, and we're going to tell it the URL where this OCI image is, which is the one that we just recently pushed. We hit enter, and we see that the system is already copying the system image into our current node. All right, our upgrade finished, and we're going to restart the system. So sudo reboot. All right, our system has restarted now, so I can SSH into it again, and I can try to run Ruby, and we can see that Ruby is installed in the system. In this way, you can now know how to build your own images, customize your own images based on other Kairos images or images of your own. You could have as well, for example, on the next version of your Docker file, you could easily, oh, sorry, I am in the image, yeah. So in the next version of your Docker file, you could, for example, base it here on your ttl.sh maurus v1.0.0. Obviously, this will be gone after 24 hours, but you know what I mean. You could have your own images here and keep upgrading from them little by little according to what you need to do. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one.